was up there, but I was also, the smuggling crew was also handing me millions of dollars. Today we're going to have a little story about probably the worst day of my fucking life. There's a little setup here that spans like, I think about a week, honestly. I had been up in Canada pretty much consistently for weeks. Like, I didn't even need to go back down to do anything. I didn't need to come back to Portland for anything anymore. I had totally everybody just set up where I had my guy that my smuggling crew was cool dropping off with and picking up from. So they dropped the weed off with a buddy of mine. I think it was George, but I might be wrong. It might have been, so I can't remember specifically. But anyway, might have been more than one person. So my weed, right, so the money that I had, or my crew's money, would come up, and then I was up there, but I was also, the smuggling crew was also handing me millions of dollars. So I was just basically a buyer, and I honestly, I should have never come back. I had a court case with the feds, and that I was on pretrial release. The story about when they busted me when I got off the plane from Canada. Okay, well, I was on pretrial release for the feds, right? And that had been going on for like 7 or 8 months or some shit, right? But I had basically just stopped reporting. I had stopped, like, I was living in Canada, right? So, and I really fucking should have never come back. But I had a court date, and I wasn't trying to, you know, it wasn't a big case. It was a little stupid case, and, you know, I was going to be able to just pay my way out of it. You know, I just fucked up and didn't pay it early enough, right? So I just wanted to deal with it, because I didn't want a fucking shit hanging over my head. Yeah. Famous last words. So the weather was fucked. So I had to take a boat, smuggled myself down from Canada, from BC, where I was just permanently fucking just on buying sprees. Then come down. Fuck, now I'm starting to have a little different recollection, like I might have flown down. Well, I got smuggled from Canada back down to Portland, and I got into town, and I literally was cruising into town like the day of court. So I had court like on Wednesday or some shit, or Thursday or Wednesday, I don't remember. I think it was Wednesday. So I call my lawyer as I'm coming into town that morning, and she's all, well, I haven't heard from you, so I postponed your court date for a week. And literally, I had left like tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars around Vancouver in various, I was just supposed to be literally bopping down to fucking Portland, going to court, and then turning right back around and going back up again. Then they're like, oh, and I was like, shit, well, I got all these other loose ends I should probably wrap up while I'm here, right? So I'm in town for a week. So I got into town like around like September 14th-ish. So in that week is when I hadn't been to my club for like, you know, probably about 2 months or something like that. And so I go in there, and And people are like, man, the cops are all over this place, and you know, my friends are coming up and saying, you know, blah blah blah. So all that shit's transpiring. I think I touched on that in a story as well. Yeah, so the night before I got busted, my fucking partner in the nightclub that's just been ripping me off fucking left and right, he's thrown a little money in on the fucking weed load. And so I'm still like, you know, just dealing with them up front until I can actually fucking, like, you know, pin him down in a situation where he has to come up with the fucking bullshit for accounting, you know? So that hasn't, we're not to that point yet. I mean, I'm literally fucking like got so much shit going on. He comes over the night before and he's like, I've got $35,000 of your money from the club that I've been collecting for the past. So I guess that's how much I had made, $35,000 in 2 months. That's fucking pathetic. I should have been making like $20,000 a week. So I'm like, all right, cool, bring it to me, or I'll come over, whatever. So he grabs his weed and goes. And now I had a pretty solid rule in this whole phase that I had been in. This is, I really wasn't living, putting the weed where I was living at all, right? So, but, it's always that but. I was about ready to move out of this place. I had 3 weeks left on the lease. I was leaving it to Cedar. He, I think, was just gonna take over the whole lease. I was dipping out of that place, right? So, but I hadn't really wrapped up yet. I had storage units and stuff, and I was gonna move my stuff into there. But I was literally just, you know, I was like fucking, I'm just gonna blow the fuck off this place, blow the doors off this place, like 5 seconds before I'm out of here, right? So I was literally in the like out of the fucking country for a couple months. Who knows what the fuck was going on there when I was out of the country? But then I'm back, and for a week, and then a week before I was supposed to be gone. Now what had happened was, and I told this in a previous story up in the cards, was about how Cedar had this Doug guy rip him off, right? And how they fucking like beat him up and all this shit, right? I mean, that was a huge crime. I mean, they fucking kidnapped that guy and beat him up and fucking, I mean, they probably could even be like torture, I mean, all this shit. And then they kept harassing the guy, this Doug guy. Well, the story goes is that Doug's dad was like a cop or something like that, but really it didn't even take, if his dad was a cop or not, it really didn't even matter, because what he did was he called in, at least this is how the story goes in the paperwork, is he called in an anonymous tip to Cedar's probation officers. But all he said, and I kind of tend to believe this, because if he had said much more than this, the way it went down, it wouldn't went down, right? So basically all he said to the POs was, hey, Cedar's not living up here in Brightwood. He's living over here in downtown Portland. So at like 11 o'clock in the morning, 2 probation officers show up. The layout of this house is like, there's an entryway, but then there's another door with another whole apartment or a duplex. So the other duplex is the ground floor. And then there's like, it's up, like you go upstairs to get to that level. And then you knock on the door, and then you, in our apartment, the entryway, and then that goes upstairs. And then you're in the main floor, and then there was a kitchen, and then behind the kitchen was Cedar's room, and then there was a bathroom, and then another set of stairs that went upstairs up to a freaking a safety door. And then that was my room. These two POs show up and knock on the door, ring the doorbell at 11 o'clock in the morning. Cedar has got his buddy, Louie, I think. Louie is like just like, we didn't even have any furniture. This fucking place was bare bones. Like, I had furniture up in my bedroom, but I never bought any furniture for the first level because honestly, I just didn't want fucking Cedar on my shit. He was a fucking pig. And I just didn't want to buy anything. He didn't buy anything, so it just sat empty. Well, this Louis guy was literally sleeping on the fucking floor. And this stupid motherfucker, he doesn't even live there, right? He's not on the lease. He's just this fucking idiot that Cedar has hanging out. And this motherfucker goes downstairs, opens the door, and these probation officers go, "Hey, is Cedar here?" And he's all, "Yeah, come on in." Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking idiot. This Louis guy, and he was all part of the same crew. These fucking, the Doug guy, the Louis guy, the Cedar guy. And really, the only person that I dealt with out of all those people was Cedar. I didn't deal with Doug. I didn't deal with Louie. I didn't even really deal with Cedar anymore. I was done with that motherfucker because I fucking caught him stealing. And I already told that story too. These fucking probation officers literally just fucking walk in to the apartment, walk upstairs, up the first flight of stairs in the main room. They fucking go into Cedar's room. Louis fucking grabs his backpack and runs and gets away. Cedar has fucking 40 pounds of weed just laying in the open. And of course he's trying to hide the gun. He's literally like, gets the gun he has out. So he's a felon, so he's not even supposed to have a gun. The court date that I'm supposed to go to the next day, I am gonna become a felon for bank fraud. So, or no, it wasn't bank fraud, it was false information on a bank loan statement, right? So, which is bank fraud. So anyway, and that's a whole other story that you can watch. And now, next is how it goes down. So, like, subscribe, and go to Patreon. Thank you for watching.